Hi, my name is Nikita Zaveri. I'm 40 years old from Mumbai. In August of 2022, I noticed a small white patch on my right hand side on the underside of my tongue. It wasn't really bothering me, so I didn't do anything about it. But within a couple of weeks, it started bothering me in terms of whenever I would eat and stuff like that. So I went to my family doctor and she gave me a course of antibiotics, which didn't really help. She suggested I go see an ENT and he gave me some stronger antibiotics, and once again the pain was under control for that time being, but nothing else changed. After a while, by the end, I just self-medicated myself with antibiotics and over-the-counter local application gels and things like that. But in November 2022, I was pretty uncomfortable. And I went to my cousin who's a dentist, and he immediately said I must do a biopsy. Luckily for me, he did the biopsy himself over there, and within a couple of days we found out that it was malignant. I kind of looked at it like a third person would, without letting my emotions come in the way, saying, if this has happened, how do I deal with it? I was lucky that my family suggested the best doctor for this, for the head and neck issues, would be Dr. Haribhakti at Reliance Hospital. I was lucky enough to get an appointment for him within the next couple of days.
When Nikita Zaveri first presented to me, she had an absolute entourage with her. Her husband, her father-in-law, everybody. She was the darling of the family who was mysteriously and suddenly struck by a cancer in a place no other than the tongue, with absolutely no habits of any kind in the past. This was a shocker for the whole family.
Coming into the hospital, it was super smooth. I just had to get myself registered, and we waited to see Dr. Haribhakti. Being a young mother, a young person, this was also a time which was very anxious for everybody in my family. All the doctors here, including Dr. Salim Sheikh and everyone, has been nothing but amazing for me. Patiently, right from the first day, answering all my questions, explaining my issue and my condition in very layman terms to me, my parents, my husband, and all of us were put to ease.
She was a picture of strength and resilience, and immediately accepted our recommendation for surgery.
I had to do a couple of tests to just make sure I was ready for surgery. Within a couple of days, the tests were done as smoothly as possible, all here in Reliance. So that was another amazing thing, because when everything happens under one roof, all the doctors are aware of everything. I don't have to carry my multiple reports from one doctor to another. Everyone is aware of everything together. So it was really nice that it's all put together in one place. And after that, I had my surgery in the first week of December.
We generally perform surgeries on the tongue in such a way as to preserve the mobility and function of the tongue so that patients have a normal quality of life. This is what we offered to her, along with a neck dissection.
My surgery itself lasted for maybe 2.5 hours, but as you can see from my speech, a portion of my tongue has been removed, but it's not hampered my speech. Dr. Haribhakti has taken the pains and the effort to make sure that doesn't happen. He did have to remove certain nodes from my neck as well. The scar is not visible because he's taken the time and effort to make sure it's done along with the folds of my neck. So a normal person who doesn't know about this and doesn't know about my issues will never be able to tell. So it's superb. At that time, I didn't give much attention to it, but Dr. Haribhakti was sure that he didn't want any visible marks and scars, and that is what it is. It's superb.
The final pathology showed that there was a tumor with a fairly significant depth of infiltration, and we therefore had to advise radiotherapy, which also she took.
I had to come in for radiation, and Dr. Prasad Dandekar was there to guide me through it all. He explained how the mask would be made, he explained how I'd have to lie still. He never once made it seem that I'll go through a lot. It was always encouraging. It was always like oh, this is it, you just have to cross the 2-week mark, then we'll tackle the next 2 weeks. So it was never made to seem like it's going to be a difficult time or a hard time to go through. And all because of that, I think I passed my radiation period also with much ease. Everything went off very smoothly. He kept encouraging me for, to just pass this time, and touch wood, all that time has passed.
It is with great satisfaction and pleasure and indeed affection that I see Nikita talking normally, eating normally, fully integrated into her family and her friends. And all this because she presented at a good time, allowed us to do the most effective treatment for her, and has finally acquired a great outcome.
I cannot tell you how smooth everyone here, including the nursing staff and everyone, made everything just so easy for me. Even while checking out, this was the first time where the staff comes into the room to say, this is the procedure, you don't need to run around, you don't need to go from post to post like saying, oh, move to the billing department or move to this department. It all happened very smoothly. And Dr. Salim Sheikh, Dr. Haribhakti were there every day to see me whilst I was in the hospital, and it was amazing. During my radiation also, all the assistant doctors with Dr. Dandekar were easily accessible. I just had to call them once or twice, and they said, please come in and we'll see you again if you have an issue. And they were spot on about everything. There was no dilly-dallying, no waiting for long periods, no like asking me to, do multiple tests or anything. They were on the ball about a lot of things. I come in for my regular checkups every 3 months. Now it's every 4 months. I do a yearly checkup like a mammography and a PET scan, and they're again always ready to answer why, if I have any questions regarding why a PET scan and why an MRI and why this and why that. Every doctor, including the radiologist, Dr. Saloni Desai, she has taken the time to explain the difference between each test and tell me why this has been recommended for me. Along with all the tests, when I go back to Dr. Haribhakti, every single time he remembers who I am. He remembers, he has multiple patients, but he'll still take the pains to know everything about my case and bring it up. And he's just amazing. More than just this issue particularly, he has looked at me holistically as a whole. He has recommended I see a genetic counselor, which has also been amazing. And my entire experience here has been superb. It's gone by so smoothly only because the organizing here, the doctors are great. Everything is just perfect. I really don't think I could have asked for anything else.